Welcome to the Resilience Protocol. If you've been targeted by a high conflict personality, you know that devaluation and smear campaigns are not just insults, they are carefully engineered psychological attacks designed to destabilize your reality and dismantle your self-worth. They are meant to provoke an emotional collapse. But what if your greatest defense was not fighting back, but achieving complete internal peace? Today, we introduce an ancient, clinically sound framework for weathering these emotional storms, Stoic detachment. Our focus is the dichotomy of control. This protocol will teach you how to ruthlessly reallocate your mental energy, focusing only on your response, thereby neutralizing the narcissist's external power and securing your psychological integrity. Let's begin. To disarm the attack, we must first understand the weapon. Clinically, narcissistic devaluation is the systematic undermining of a partner's or victim's value. It serves three core functions for the narcissist. First, it restores their grandiosity when their fragile ego is threatened. They tear you down to elevate themselves. Second, it is a calculated punishment for non-compliance, for asserting a boundary or showing independence. Third, and perhaps most critically, devaluation acts as the moral justification for the eventual discard. They tell themselves, and others, that you are flawed, making their departure or infidelity rational. The tactics used are predictable, gaslighting designed to twist your perception, projection where the narcissist attributes their own shame onto you, and triangulation, where they enlist flying monkeys or rivals to reinforce the negative narrative, the notorious smear campaign. These tactics are precision-guided. They do not target your actions. They target your attachment wounds, your core fears of abandonment, and your need for validation. This understanding is key. The goal is to make you fight for your reality, thereby consuming all your psychological resources. Knowing this mechanism is the essential first step toward emotional immunity. The core of our resilience protocol is the Stoic Dichotomy of Control. This principle states that everything in life falls into one of two categories: things that are up to us and things that are not up to us. What is up to us? Our responses, our judgments, our intentions, and our effort. What is not up to us? Other people's actions, their opinions, the weather, and external outcomes. When facing narcissistic abuse, this dichotomy becomes your strongest psychological boundary. The objective of the protocol is precision. We must ruthlessly reallocate 100% of our mental energy solely to the up to us category. Narcissists thrive on diverting your attention to what you cannot control: their irrational behavior, their lies, their reactions. By consciously choosing to ignore their external chaos and focusing instead on maintaining your own internal composure, you strip their attacks of their fuel source. This is not indifference, it is profound psychological management. We now move to the internal application, mastering internal judgments. The devaluation attack only holds power if you accept the narcissist's projection as objective reality. When triggered, perhaps by a cruel text or public slight, stop. Apply the up to uses test. Ask yourself, is this feeling of shame or anger caused by their action or by my interpretation of their action? The act of pausing allows you to interrupt the automatic emotional loop that the narcissist depends on. It creates the necessary space for a rational response. This pause allows you to challenge automatic negative thoughts, or ANTs, which are often the internalized voice of the abuser. You must deliberately reframe the narcissist's message. Instead of automatically accepting, "I am worthless," you state, "The narcissist needs me to believe I am worthless because they fear exposure, but I reject that judgment." This is not wishful thinking. It is a clinical intervention. You are reclaiming the authority over your own mind, recognizing the attack as a desperate strategy of the disordered person, not a statement of your reality. This conscious rejection is the firewall protecting your self-worth. The next step is cultivating cognitive distance. Emotional reactivity is the narcissist's fuel. It confirms their control and validates their existence. By refusing to engage emotionally, you cut off their supply. Practice treating the narcissist's actions, words, and even their manufactured drama like observing a distant natural phenomenon, a thunderstorm that poses no threat to your internal structure. You see the lightning, you hear the thunder, but you remain untouched, safely indoors. Conserving your psychological energy is paramount. Every ounce of energy spent defending yourself against irrational accusations is energy stolen from your trauma recovery process. Emotional non-reactivity is not a weakness. It is a supreme act of psychological energy conservation. How do you prepare for the next attack? We use the Stoic technique of premeditatio malorum, or negative visualization. Understand this is not self-pity or wallowing. This is a strategic exercise. When you are calm and grounded, mentally rehearse the worst possible, yet realistic outcomes of the narcissist's actions, losing a shared social circle, damaging professional contacts, or even a protracted legal battle. By rehearsing these scenarios when your rational mind is in control, you familiarize your emotional system with the possibility. This practice strips away the element of emotional shock. When the feared event actually occurs, your system says, "Ah, yes, I have anticipated this." Now, external outcomes will still hurt. You recognize that they cannot destroy what truly matters: your internal character, your integrity, and your virtue. The narcissist may destroy a relationship or a reputation, but they cannot access your internal fortitude unless you grant them permission. This resilience is built through prior mental preparation. The smear campaign is often the most painful part of devaluation. It feels vital to fight it. But let's reapply the dichotomy of control here. Your character, your integrity, and the actions you choose are entirely within your control. They are up to us. However, others' perception of you, your reputation, is external and uncontrollable. Desperately trying to manage every lie and every biased opinion is a futile attempt to control the uncontrollable. This realization is profoundly freeing. The practical advice is this: do not rush to correct the narrative. Engaging in the smear contest validates the narcissist's chaos and lowers you to their level. Instead, focus solely on maintaining your integrity and allowing the consistent truth of your measured, ethical actions to serve as your long-term defense. People who matter and neutral observers eventually recognize the pattern of the high-conflict personality. Your calm, detached conduct speaks louder than any defense you could offer against their lies. We transition now to the external protocol: rational non-engagement. Gray rock and no contact are often mislabeled as avoidance. They are not passive. They are rational, Stoic-aligned actions designed to conserve the self. No contact is the ultimate boundary, eliminating opportunities for external factors to impact your inner peace. Where no contact is impossible, gray rock is the measured choice. Every word, every reaction, every interaction is an opportunity for the narcissist to gain control. Non-engagement is the measured choice to protect your most valuable resource, the psychological energy required to rebuild and heal. There are situations where engagement is legally or socially unavoidable: co-parenting, legal disputes, or the workplace. In these moments, you must maintain supreme control through professionalism. Implement the rule of one sentence. Respond only with necessary verifiable facts, devoid of emotion, defense, or personal justification. For example, if they demand an explanation, your response is, "I will only respond to matters regarding the transfer of our child, not personal opinions." This measured, factual response demonstrates maturity and control. Neutral third parties, observing one party remaining factual and the other descending into emotional chaos, will inevitably recognize the source of the conflict. Your composure is your greatest professional asset. To summarize the protocol for achieving emotional fortitude, first, ruthlessly identify what is uncontrollable and relinquish your mental energy from it. Second, master your internal judgments, rejecting the narcissist's projected narrative. Third, practice rational, measured non-engagement to conserve your psychological reserves. Emotional fortitude is not the absence of feeling, but the disciplined control of your response to feeling. This is the difference between surviving and thriving. If you found this clinical insight helpful, please subscribe to the Resilience Protocol for more weekly protocols on mental fortitude and emotional freedom. We also offer additional resources linked below on boundary setting and healing. Take care of your internal world. We will see you in the next protocol.